Hello, I believe we've met before. This is Trev, aka Headphones Hi-Fi Reviews, aka Team Subjective Staff Writer for Subjective Reviews, aka Take an Idea on Head-Fi, or you can just simply call me Trev. The latest unboxing I have is a double whammy from AMP3, Advanced MP3 Players, based in Bonnie, Scotland. And Chris has very kindly sent me not just one but two packages. The usual rules will apply, i.e. that the boxing will be live in front of you, warts and all, and my reaction will be honest, full of integrity and instantaneous. You can see with your very eyes what I really think of the product, and I can assure you that, to the best of my knowledge, I've not read any critical reviews of either product I am about to unbox. Ladies and gentlemen, but I suspect mainly gentlemen, I give you the Fiio M11. Not just the Fiio M11, but of course the Fiio M11 Pro with THX amplification, no less. So a glossy cardboard outer and some of the health and safety and compatibility on the back. That's really the end of the cardboard outer, and some magnetic clasp there, like many of these. Obviously this is a review model, so it's a bit battered. You'll get yours in pristine condition, of course. And foam insert. Brief twist around. Tactile volume knob. Pause. Switch. Previous and next track facility. And then the Pro that you can see there. It is sleeker than the M11. And balanced and unbalanced, USB in and out. Usual little box of tricks. This would have had the player in. This would have had this cable in. This will connect your digital audio player to a coaxial connection. You can also USB-C it out or in as a DAC, or to output it to another DAC. Some instructions, warranty cards, health and safety information, and a quick start guide. Put that to one side. And this cable will have the USB-C charging cable included, of course, in your unopened box. No problem, but this is a review model and I've got tons of USB-C cables. Not a big deal. The all-important insertion pin card is at the back of that cardboard box. While we're getting the M11 Pro in a state of readiness for its first appearance with me on TV, I'll tell you a little bit about the people that supplied me with the digital audio player. Advanced MP3 or AMP3 are a company based in Scotland. They're distributors as well as sellers of many fine goods. And Chris and Mark I've had the pleasure of meeting at the Bristol Hi-Fi show. They were introduced to me by Mark Ramos of Hi-Fi Man, and an independent reviewer of high repute in his own right. And hopefully he will return to that soon when he gets a chance. And Chris and Mark offered to send me the IT05 and the M11 Pro, and the M11 is actually a digital audio player that I own, and it gives me a wonderful opportunity to pit the M11 Pro against the M11. The M11 had rave reviews about it, and the M11 Pro, I know that Chris and Mark picked up some prestigious award from some prestigious hi-fi magazine while they were at the show. So an undeniable pedigree, but I haven't heard it myself, and I'm just about to get to use it now. So we've got the insertion pin. We've got the 64 gig SanDisk SD mini micro SD card, and let's work out how to get the SD card working and see how quickly we can put the SD card in from scratch. There's only one way the micro SD card can go in. Voila. I know this is a bit fiddly, but obviously you don't have to do it every day. And it all depends on how simple it is to put it into the slot. It will only go in one way. It will not be forced. So clearly not that way. So we'll try it this way. And as you can see, it slides in, and with a satisfying click, it's flush to the surface. So we switch it on, and as we switch it on, let's put it back there. And as we wait for it to boot up, what are the differences between the M11 and the M11 Pro? As far as I remember, it's got apparently a much better DAC setup, and much more sophisticated chipset. So wow, I think that we've already got existing tracks on here. Fiio Music has immediately booted up. And let's have a look in settings and see if I can find mine. So Fiio have put Fiio Music as the default player, and it's already booting up. So if we go for folder output and go micro SD card, okay, and that looks to be playing. So we've got USB-C in and out, balanced in and out, and unbalanced output. It just so happens that I have prepared a set of earphones here, well, earbuds, the Monk Zen Lite. I don't know if you can see them. I've reviewed these previously, but they'll do just for an initial listen. So I'm gonna try them on now. Okay, I've listened to a track, He Raised Me Up, Celtic Woman, from their CD Decade, which is a quadruple CD I just bought off of Amazon, or rather I got as a birthday present from my wish list on Amazon, which was on the SD card. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to disconnect the earbuds. I'm going to eject the SD card, and switch this one off. It's very quick. And here's the M11. As you can see, chunkier, heavier looking, which it is heavier, and it also has a protective silicone cover that was provided with it. I'm now going to replicate the SD card insertion. So SD card 1, quite a bit harder to get into, but it can be done. So I'll take out that SD card. Not quite as slick as the M11, but slick enough. I'll find out which one it was. I can't quite remember which one. So it's micro SD card 2. And let's play this one. Okay, you'll just have to remember we're looking at the Fiio M11 at the moment, which is my own personal digital audio player. So I invested a lot of money in this audio player. My first impressions are, and I'm going to go back now and double check it, but the M11 does not sound as good, sadly, alas, unfortunately, as the M11 Pro. I will confirm this on a second listening, but I'm pretty made up, and I didn't want it to sound better, but unfortunately it looks like it might well do. So we will now take this out of, I think it was card slot 1. Yes, card slot 1, and put it into the M11 once again, and just confirm that. Sorry about this, I'm going as quickly as I possibly can. It shouldn't take too long. I think the Fiio Music app starts straight up on this one. Yes, we're straight in. We'll go to local music, and we'll go to folders. Oh, I didn't push it in hard enough. Do you notice that I've taken the SD card out of the Fiio M11, where I downloaded the lyrics online? They've obviously written themselves onto the micro SD card, and now they're coming up on the screen. I'll Press this again and you just get the lyric. You know, we mentioned about warts and all earlier on. Let's just start switching this on. And you know that I said that I preferred the M11 Pro sound vastly to the sound that I was getting from the M11. I do have to confess that I may have made a bit of a cock up in my initial estimation of that. And if we can just turn on the settings on this one, you'll see that pure music mode is written here. And that is the M11 Pro. Let's just see if we can switch this one on now. This one was not set in pure music mode. It now is. Let me show you the difference between the two. Switch pure music mode to Android mode. I was listening to the M11 in Android mode and the Pro in pure music mode. Guess what? My ears tell me that pure music mode is better. So what we need to do now is we need to start all over again and have a tiny bit of a listen. I've sat down and listened to the M11 Pro and the M11 once again, and I've done it properly this time with an even playing field using pure music mode and Auto DSD on both DAPs. So what were the differences? The M11 sounded absolutely great, and it was only from constant changing between the M11 and the M11 Pro that I was able to start to hear much difference at all. The difference between the two are small, but it is there. The M11 has a good DAC, a good amp and a good processor. The M11 Pro has an excellent DAC, amp and processor, which means that the sound is slightly smoother yet clearer. In other words, there's no graininess to the sound, and you get a slight graininess of the sound in perfectionist terms anyway on the M11 compared to the M11 Pro. The soundstage on the M11 Pro appears to be wider, and why is that? It's because the instruments seem to be slightly further apart, so the instruments are easier to pick up, and some people would say that that means the sound is less muddied or clearer on the M11 Pro as opposed to the M11. Therefore, is the M11 Pro a better bargain than the M11? The M11 is $449 retail and the M11 Pro is $599 retail. If you're really lucky, from time to time you might pick up a bargain. And they might be slightly cheaper, but those are the retail prices of the two products. So is the M11 Pro £150 better? If you're looking for better sound quality, the M11 Pro has better sound quality. Whether that sound quality equates to £150 is down to you, the viewer, I'm afraid. But if I say that I was prepared to spend £449 on the Fiio M11, which I bought from AMP3, by the way, back in the day, then obviously if I wanted better sound quality above all else, I probably would be prepared to spend £150 more to realise that dream. The M11, however, has 2 SD card slots, and if that is one of your must-haves, then the M11 Pro of course has 1 SD card slot. At the time that I bought this, with the amount of music that I had and not wishing to rely on Wi-Fi or Bluetooth streaming across from my smartphone, I wanted to have as much music as possible on my digital audio player. So the 2 SD card slots were the deal breaker for me, and they were ultimately made me get the M11 as opposed to any of the other digital audio players on the market. We all have our reasons as to why we buy things. I hope you found this comparison between the two useful. Just to summarise, the M11 Pro has slightly better sound quality, but 1 SD card slot less, but all the other remaining functionality that the M11 has that everybody raved about is still there. It's just better and faster. You needn't take my word for it. The Fiio M11 and M11 Pro have been recorded in action. The 30-second sound files will be exclusively on my subjective review site. Head on over to there. You can hear for yourself the M11 and the M11 Pro in action. I hope that this has helped you in finding out more about Fiio products, and if you like what you hear, then you know what to do. My next video, following very shortly, will be another review sample from AMP3, and this one will be an in-ear monitor made by iBasso. Hope you've enjoyed what you've watched so far. Thank you very much for watching, and I hope to have you with me again very soon. Until then, goodbye.